All right, this is tool time one. We've had a couple of these where we showed it, but I had this on my virtual box on my other machine before I was able to use it. Now that I have more of an understanding of it, we're going to go through it. So I have downloaded Autopsy 4, 4.2 dot 10. And this is a very powerful tool. I didn't realize how powerful it was until we actually got into it in the labs. When I was just playing around with it, it wasn't as, I didn't understand it. I was bringing in stuff, but I didn't understand what each of these different sections mean. So I have actually ran this and brought in a file that we're going to take a look at. So this is my goofy.tiff. It's an actual file here. The thumbnail, so this is the table. I'm on the data source. And so Goofy here is, we're trying to figure out why he's corrupt or what's going on with him or anything. So I brought him in so that we could look at him. And this is very, very interesting. So we have a file view here and we can view all files. We can view them by extensions. Whether they're images, their videos, their audios, their archives, their databases. This one's an image. So it gives us what the file name is, the time it was modified, date changed, date access, created time, size, flags, flags meta, unknown, gives us a location, gives us a hash, gives us an SHA hash, gives us the MEM type and extensions. Each one of these are clickable, so you could go in and actually look. And when you do that, the image will appear down below. And then you can view hex, what the hex of the image is. You can view the text. You can view the application, which in this case is the image, and you can use the files. The files will give you the name, the type that it was carved. It gives you the type of image it is. In this case, I created it as a TIFF because if I didn't, it wasn't going to come in. It gives you the date modified. If we modified this, it would tell us the date that it was modified. Accessed, it would have today's date once it was accessed if a user was accessing it. Created of the date it was created. Again, the date changed. The MD5 hash lookup is unknown. There's all kinds of real information in here that you can get. I really like playing around with this tool, and I liked it when we had it in labs. It has really given investigations of some of the stuff very easy. I wish I could use this in most of our labs when it's asking for hashes and different types of things. The videos, I don't have any videos downloaded, but if we did, it would be the exact same. Same with the audio, the archives, the database, documents. And this would be if it was HTML, Office, PDF, plain text, or rich text. I haven't saved any documents on here, so I haven't done any of that. Executables, if we've had any executables, any BATs, CMTs, COMs, EXEs, all that, it would be in here. Modified by type. Right now I have it as an image because of the fact that I had brought in an image. We can, if we have deleted files, we can bring in deleted files and we could see which files were deleted. In this case, there was one. It was a Goofy when I first deleted them and brought them back in. So this shows that the file. I'm not quite sure. I still have to play around with it, but I'm not quite sure how to bring up deleted, except for it tells me that one was deleted. The MB file size, this gives you, if there was any of these different files, it would give you exactly what the file size was. Data artifacts, if we had any data that we had artifact within Autopsy, we would be able to see that. Analyst searches, if we had any searches that we had or results that we had to do, it would give us any of the results here. Accounts, if we had any accounts that we were looking for, those would be in here. With the tags, if we had searched by certain tags and had certain things, we could go in here. This gives us a score of if we had any items on the computers, or if this was bad, it would actually, what's nice about this is it would give us what was bad, the file name, and the suspicious items it would give us if we had one or two, and then we could click on these and it would go out and tell us what the score was. And the same thing in the reports. The reports would give us pretty much the score of everything. So this is a very powerful tool. Image and videos, as you can see, I have Goofy here so you can see them. If this was a file, we could actually look to see if there was any non-pertinent information. There isn't any. There was any abuse material, any child explicit, any animation child graphics, any comparison images. I don't have any comparison images, so that's why there's a 0 here. We can search by priority. We can search by properties. This gives us that hash hints only, so we can do a hit count. If we change this, we can do unauthorized counts. We can do group sizes. We can do hit density. There's all kinds of different ones that we can do a sort by if we had them all in different groups. The data source is all, which means I am selected on the Goofy. If there was more here, I could bring in every single data source in here. Tag group files, if there was any tag groups we could do. If I wanted to follow up on this for any reason, I have this little drop down here. I can do a bookmark, I could do a follow-up, I could do a notable item. Category group files, again, I don't have any group files. And non-pertinent information, which it highlights Goofy because he's non-pertinent to any type of anything that I have set. So non-pertinent is 0, child abuse is 1, child explicit is 2, animation child explicit is 3, and comparison videos is 4. I only have one in here. I didn't bring in any of the other files, so you're not going to see any of those other numbers. But this is a very powerful tool. I didn't realize how powerful it was until we started playing around with it in some of our labs. And I really start liking this, but like I said, I had this downloaded before we started playing with it in labs. I just hadn't been able to play with it. Now I have. Now we have the hash only hints. We have categories, which Goofy comes in because he is in a category. Tags, I shouldn't have any tags, and there's not. Camera make. If there was any type, if this was an actual picture, it would come up with the make and model of the camera. Well, camera make at least, and then you could do model, and then you would do the MDI type, and his comes up as it's just a picture because I have it. I didn't download anything else. I wasn't gonna go into a lot of into this. And this takes you back to all of the places that you've just been. You can also exit out right here of the categories, and you can go to the next one. Communications. If there was anything that was in communications, such as the device, or if you had a video recording or anything in that, you can actually put this into Autopsy and it will bring it in and it will give you the device, the type, and the items on that device. And you can pretty much do the same thing as what you did here. You can uncheck all which devices you want. It gives you the messages, calls, logs, all this kind of stuff. This was mostly phone, but I have seen it where I did some research on this and was looking at it, and you can do more than just a phone. You have your text messages here, you have your call logs, and you have your contacts. You can actually, in here, in the device part of it, if they actually have videos on their phone, you can go in and do that. I just haven't discovered how to do that yet because I haven't brought anything in. But again, that's a powerful one. A geolocation, will give you, once you're on your file, and if it's a picture, it will actually give you the location of where the file was taken. And from what I understand, it's a precise location, or at least it can give you more of a general. The timeline will actually give you the time that the picture was taken. So in or about areas where it was at, years, days, months, minutes. There's all kinds of information that you can do within here. Again, you have your thumbnail table, you have your summary down here below. Your table you must include in text, must be tagged, must have a hash hit. You can, all of these different things in here, it's wonderful because you can actually really dive deep into something. You can add an event, you can do snapshot report, discovery. The discovery is you discovered what images they are. You can go in, what data source, past conferences, possibly created. Move this up a little bit. There's all kinds of different, you have your group sizes, your patient headers, your files. Down here, there's a little bit more information, and I'm not able to bring it up due to being on any desk, which is causing my issue not to let me bring it up any higher, but that's all right. Videos, kind of the same thing. You have all of that. Documents changes just a tiny bit, but you still have your data source, your past, you have your file size, group name. There's tags down here. Domains, same thing. You have your page views, what they did. So you can search a lot of computers. This is more of, you can actually do on your data sources here, you can not just do images, but you can also bring in a, whether it's a disk. So I'm going to create new host. So disk or VM file, you can collect it. So this is my EOU test and pictures. I'm browsing, I'm going to leave it. I'll browse. So we bring in goof. Well, if I had any others, like if I had documents in here, I could bring in a document, any networks, recent items, tells me everything that's in here. So we can do pictures, and I can open, and this will bring in, gives me my time zone, put all this in here. The next thing would be the configure. If I hit next on here, it would ignore this. Won't let me ignore it. So let's bring back in Goofy. Okay, so this gives me where he is. It tells me roaming, Microsoft, Windows, recent, Goofy, link, browse, gives me all this. I can do optional hashtags in here if I wanted to. I can hit next, bring in everything that I want to see. There's more in here. I can do cyber triage. I can do Plaslo, Android analyzer. There's so much in here that you can do. This is, like I said, such wonderful stuff. And then I can go next. And then it's going to tell me up here that you can't view the log. It's fine. You can always just skip it. Why it does that, I don't know, but it does. And then you can do bring it in, and in here in your data sources, you'll see that now there's 6 hosts of Goofy. We were just looking at that. So I can open up Goofy by double clicking on them, hopefully. Or I can do videos. Here we go. And you get all this. Again, we don't want this, so I want to go back to the main screen. So we go to view files. It gives me the file types. We're going to do images. Here's Goofy again. We have our thumbnails, which it brings it in. We have a summary if there was any summaries, tables. If I modified it again, you'd have modified time. So even on these data sources here, if I were to click on 6, it brings it down, and then I can go into the different parts of the Goofy. So this was the first one I was on, and then here's number 6, and then I can go into Goofy here, and this allocates out the name, modified, change, all this kind of stuff. 1 would be the same way if I opened it up. I could click on the image Goofy. It would have it. It has the FSCARS files because I S-carved it out the first time. The second time I didn't. I just brought it in. But there's so much in here you can do. You can do a discovery, like I said before, would discover all of that stuff. You can generate a report on it. Gives you HTML exports, files, textbooks case, printable case, put in your headers. Next, goes into, gives you what it is. You can uncheck all. Next, and then you add results, whether you want all results, tagged results, or specific, and then you would hit follow up or test if you did your follow up in the one of the other screens over here, and then you hit finish and it will create the report for you, and it tells you where it's going, and you can also click on it and it will open the file for you. You can open it in Chrome. I'm going to open it in Chrome. And when you open it, it gives you the report like I was talking about before. It tells you it's 2 flagged files because I tagged both Goofy's 6 and 1 in here. Tagged images, 1, which was Goofy when I tagged. It gives you the case number, the number of data, who did it, time zone. It gives you the path. We go down, keywords. Job 2 was the Goofy link completed. It gives you everything that you did in there. It's going to give you, and then of course, your funny little Doberman there. So this is a very powerful tool. This has gone out to Chrome, as you can see. We're going to go back into, we're going to go back into Autopsy. I'm going to close that, and that saved it in that file location for me as well, so I can go in and reopen it if I need to. Close case, so we want to close the case. It's now actually going to close it, and I'm ready to do open case, or new case, open case, reopen a recent case, or open case. If there's one that's already open, I can just go in and open it. So this is Autopsy. This is a very, very powerful forensic tool. I'm glad that I had downloaded it, but like I said before, I didn't go in and play with it that much because of the way my computer was. But I just thought since we've been playing with it and I've been looking into it more into the labs and stuff, I'm starting to really like this. And I hope that this is something that I could actually really use in the real world scenarios. Anyway, that's my presentation for tool time 1.